Welcome everybody to today's video. Today we're going to be doing a movie review over the first 3 episodes of the first season of the show Invincible on Amazon Prime. I got into this show a little bit late and I'm going to probably do a movie review episode by episode of this show, but I might just wait till the end to cover the next 5 episodes because it's only going to be 8 episodes total, and so far we have 3. So I'm going to give my thoughts on the first 3 episodes in this video, and I'm going to leave the spoilers till the last part of the video, so I will warn you, but for the first part, there's not going to be any spoilers. So overall, I thought that this show was actually really good. I started watching it because I thought that it looked good. I don't go out and watch shows just so that I can watch them and review them. I watch them only because I think that it actually looks good. And this show actually surpassed my expectations. It kind of reminded me of The Boys a little bit, which is another show on Amazon Prime that I really like a lot. I haven't done a movie review of it yet, but it would be in the high A range, and that's an incredible score on the movie review. The Boys is a really great show. You should check that out. But this show is also really good as well. The reason it reminds me of The Boys is because it's a superhero TV show that's very bloody and gory, and it's also not a Marvel or DC show. It's a completely separate comic. But they're both based off of comics, they're both TV shows. They've both got these leagues of superheroes. They're both bloody and gory, and they're both really good. It's got more similarities to The Boys in it as well, but I will discuss those in the second part of this video that contains the spoilers. But overall, the design of this show, the way that it's animated, is really high quality. It's a pretty brightly colored show. It's not anything dark, but it does have some pretty dark themes in it. So it's packaged as like a pretty normal show, but it's definitely made for a more mature audience. I really like the design of the animation because it's not trying to do anything super crazy. It's not really taking any huge chances. It's just being a really good quality design. So when it comes to the animation, I actually really like it, and there's not really anything that I would change about it at all. When it comes to the character development is not quite as good as The Boys. There's not as much character depth, but there is some. The characters for the most part are enjoyable except for one guy that I just find to be pretty annoying. He's kind of a comic relief character, but most of his jokes don't really land for me, but they're not like terrible bad jokes. They just don't really land that often, and he's kind of an annoying character, but he's more of a side character, so it's not really that big of a deal. But the Omni-Man character is definitely the most interesting one so far. That's the guy, if you haven't watched the show, that's the guy who's dressed in white and red, and he's basically like the Superman of the show. I also am interested in the main character who goes by the name Invincible, but I'm not really quite as interested in him as I am with Omni-Man. Now let's move on to the storyline of the show. It's a really good storyline overall. It is kind of similar to the Boys storyline a little bit, but there's definitely enough differences that it is a separate show. It's not like a copycat of The Boys, I don't think, but there are definitely some pretty big similarities to it. So overall, the storyline, although it is pretty similar to things that I've seen on Amazon Prime in the past, it's still a pretty good storyline. It's not quite as unique anymore because of The Boys, but it is still a really good storyline, and I'm definitely interested in watching this show. At the end of every episode, I really want to watch the next one, and yeah, they do a good job at that. They do a really good job at making you want to watch the next episode because it does pull you in and it does make you interested in what is going to happen next. That's definitely true for this TV show. So if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. It's a very good show, and I can't wait till the other episodes come out so that I can watch them. Now we're going to move on into spoiler territory, and at the end of the review, I'm going to give my final grade. So let's go over some of the things that I thought were similar to The Boys. So the big main one is Omni-Man. He's basically like Homelander. I mean, Homelander is the crazy version of Superman. I mean, he's like if Superman had mental problems and anger issues and ego problems and things like that. If Superman had all these mental problems, then you get Homelander, except Homelander isn't, his weakness isn't kryptonite. As far as we know, he doesn't have one. That's almost the exact same thing with Omni-Man here as well, except I think that he covers it up a lot more. Nobody actually knows that he's a psychopath, but he definitely is one. So it's kind of like if Homelander was a psychopath, but he didn't make it as well known and he kept it completely hidden. So there definitely is some difference there between Homelander and Omni-Man. Although they are very similar characters, Omni-Man chooses to keep his psychotic behaviors a secret, while Homelander is a little bit more open with them, not to the public, but to the people behind the scenes. Whereas Omni-Man, he doesn't let anybody know that he's a psychopath. But like I said, they're both basically psychopath Superman characters that have sons that they want to raise and grow up and be like them. And here comes a prediction for both of these shows. I predict for both of them that their sons are going to defeat both of them. I think that Ryan is going to beat Homelander and the boys, and I think that Invincible is going to defeat Omni-Man in the show Invincible. So, I mean, I literally have the exact same prediction for each show, so when it comes to its originality, it seems not quite as original as it could have been if it had come out before The Boys. Then maybe The Boys would be like the copycat version of this one. But at the end of the day, I don't know which one came first because I haven't read either of the comics for either of these shows. But there's just a lot of similarities overall, and that's not really a bad thing, but I could see some valid criticism there. But yeah, I'm still super interested in seeing where Omni-Man's character goes. We'll see if he goes down a different path than Homelander. We'll see if he tries to like fix himself or if he just completely indulges. It seems like he's already chosen to just completely indulge in his psychotic behavior, but we're going to see what happens. I'm very curious for both this show and for The Boys. I'm very curious for both shows to see what's going to happen next. Overall, I'm going to give Invincible at least the first 3 episodes that I've seen so far. I'm going to give it an A minus. And again, that is a very high grade. And I say again because I just gave out my first A minus, which is the highest grade on the movie review scale so far. I just gave that out yesterday to Ford versus Ferrari. And yeah, that was the first A minus that I've ever given out. That's the highest grade on the movie review so far. There are other movies that I haven't movie reviewed yet that are higher than an A minus, but so far on the movie review scale, Invincible and Ford versus Ferrari are tied for first place. So yeah, very good show. I can't wait to see more. Highly recommend it. Let me know what you guys thought of it in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think is going to happen next. And I will see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching. Peace.